You know, the compressed natural gas, CNG, is an eco-friendly alternative to gasoline or diesel. It is considered safer because it is non-toxic and reduces harmful emissions. We can tell you that the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative has rolled out its national deployment plan, which is built to launch from between the 15th and 30th of May 2024. Now, part of it is the Southwest engagement meeting with key players on implementation and sustainability of the initiative. The project director, Michael Oluwagbemi, disclosed that the initiative is part of the commitment of the Tinubu-led administration to foster sustainable energy solutions and reduce carbon emissions in our country. This, if you ask me, is a remarkable milestone in the country's journey towards achieving energy efficiency. But first, let's share the story of the engagement in Lagos by TVC News' Ayomide Ajayigbe. Let's go there.
Meeting is to interface with all stakeholders, both professionals and artisans, to drive the message of CNG-powered vehicles and its contributions to a substantial increase in carbon emissions.
It not only seeks to revolutionize Nigeria's transport sector with cleaner energy, but also commits to upskilling and training about 25,000 auto technicians in the process.
Every filling station, the way they have petrol, kerosene, and diesel, to also have a CNG dispenser.
At the panel session, Professor Iyolaoni urged government to ensure there is balance between demand and supply, so that Nigerians' expectation will not be short-lived.
We must not make a mistake of over-sensitizing people to roll out the conversion and the vehicles. In the end, they will not be able to access this facility.
In layman's language, government representatives state the benefits of CNG-powered vehicles.
2 vehicles were deployed from Abuja to go to Ibadan.
Is it working?
The same kind of vehicles, and they got to Ibadan. When they wanted to refill, they found that the petrol-driven vehicle had to spend 50-something thousand naira to refill, whereas the CNG-powered vehicle spent just about 20-something thousand naira.
There are thousands of CNG vehicles all over the world. You don't hear about the explosion of CNG vehicles. But you see, that's about petrol vehicles. So we need to switch to something like safer.
Drivers, riders, automobile mechanics and artisans say they are ready to align with the CNG revolution, as it is an escape from high cost of fuel.
Be sincere is a new development to us, because what we have been facing concerning this fuel, and at least if this thing have come, at least it will change many things to our people.
There should be another way that will be a succor for every downtrodden. So, and that is exactly what is happening with CNG.
Every stakeholder here agreed that this policy will not just favor the rich, but also the poor in the society. And one of the stakeholders highlighted that federal government should approve a policy that slashes 50% on import duties for all CNG imported vehicles. Ayomide Ajayigbe, TVC News, Lagos.
Many thanks again, Ayomide. Asoko, you were part of this.
Yes.
What can you share with Charles and I?
I was at that stakeholders meeting, and I would say truly this is more or less like the foundation to one of the policies of this government, which I believe is going to go places. In that is a revolution, truly is a revolution, based on the submission of the panelists as well as the initiator of, of this program and project. The stakeholders meeting actually had the NURTW,
okay,
the Road Transport Employees Association of Nigeria,
yes,
and not only those, the transporters. They had mechanics, they had technicians, you know. So
are they persuaded? Do you think they are convinced?
Yeah, well, from all indication, they are. In fact, I didn't want to sit where the who is who, you know, you are sitting. I decided to sit where I will be able to ask questions with, you know, the mechanics and the technicians. And they seem to be very, very satisfied. Yes, they are. At some point, they were thinking it will be more about losing their jobs. But do you know what? Most of them, the mechanics, some of the mechanics I actually spoke with, we are very enthusiastic about it. They were happy that this is going to upskill them, you know, so that they don't start looking at just breaking parts and all that. This is another level of mechanic, which is for them to get those cylinders and be able to put it right where it is supposed to be. So even as we speak, in Lagos, the association is training mechanics on how to also put these things, these CNG cylinders in the cars.
Yeah.
So which to me, most of them we are very, very happy about it. And from all indication, the southwest, because they had Ogun, the commissioner for transport coming from Ogun. You know, Ogun State is the first state in Nigeria that started using CNG.
Okay.
And they are doing it very well. You know, all the major BLT buses is coming in.
The commissioner was there to share.
Yes, his own ideas. Yes, the know-how and how it's working, you know, go very well.
Okay.
You know, and so it's really opened the eyes of so many people there that so this thing can really happen. You know, and from what I've seen, and even yesterday, they even went on a tour to one of the conversion centers. And I think we also showed that one too. And it shows that Nigeria is moving gradually out of fossil.
We're going green.
Yeah, little by little. It's just baby steps. And I like what Michael Oluwagbemi is doing. From what he was saying.
That's the director.
Yes, the program director. Yeah. He's saying something. He's saying, we are not rushing. We are just taking our time and taking those steps one at a time. And if you do that, it means at some point, everybody will embrace it. You know, everybody, all Nigerians. As I'm talking to you, I'm already thinking of, can I also go the CNG way? Mm-hmm. Because it is cheaper.
Okay.
You know, another thing is that your engine will be saved if you use CNG. It will last longer. Your engine will last longer.
Yeah.
So rather using. And you can use the two. You can either use the petrol or you use the CNG. So, but the concerns about most of them was that...
power?
Not power.
Okay.
They were even afraid about substandard conversion kits being sent into Nigeria.
Okay.
You understand? That was their major concern about the people that...
Genuine concern?
It was genuine. You understand? It was genuine, you know. And I looked at it and I said, well, it's true, because sometimes you see, and it was, one of them even sat with me. He said, see, I want to bring a particular product. I went to China. He actually went to China to train. And he said when he was in China, the people, one of his trainers was saying that, see, this thing that I'm showing you, a Nigerian came to me, said we should reduce the quality, and so you can bring as many as possible. You know, so if somebody has that kind of orientation, you know, that is the kind of concern the person actually brought in. So from all he wanted to do was SON, because he kept saying SON, because
Standards
Organization of Nigeria must be deeply involved, and then the president has to pull their ears, because we are talking about gas here. We are not talking about... It
was highly combustible and all that.
You understand?
Okay.
You know, so from all that happened on Wednesday, I think Nigeria is moving forward.
We are ready. Yeah.
Yes, we are really ready for us to move from petrol to CNG.
Okay. Charles, do you have any reservations here?
Yes, I do. But before reservation, I think first I must applaud the government's initiative, and particularly the stakeholders, and then, you know, sensitizing the people. they didn't just want to just go the usual way, let's do it, and then damn all the consequences. They got the Ministry of Labour involved. They also got NSC involved as labor movement. They also got journalists involved. So that if something is happening in Lagos, I know it's happening between South, Southeast, happening in Enugu. Today is South, in Enugu, and all that. So people are already being sensitized before even we kicked off, but again, for people to drive in and all that. But my concern, as I said, is that because I looked at it, why should I have a preference for CNG to what I already have now? So there are dangers that people have to look at for them to rush into that, because there are some people who are including they said about the pressure in some of this, like you also mentioned about
the pressure for CNG is not as heavy. CNG is lighter than LPG.
Yes. Okay. Well, again, I also
so CNG is maintained.
For me, I said I asked myself, if I want to go the CNG way, what are the harmful effects with my car,
if any?
Yes, if any. Well, I looked, I said, your engine runs dry when it is on CNG, so the spark plugs. And the engine wear more than they should. I marked that down. Number two is that you will have to visit the service center more frequently if your car is on CNG, and will have to keep a check on your car's engine that's running. I also kept that. Also, you will have to pay more attention to your car if you're on CNG. So these are the things that people have to look at. Not just when you go the CNG way, you want to drive the car the way it has already been driving it. So you know that now we are leaving the fossil fuel era and then moving into gas and so on. The other one is this. We discussed it before we came on there. What plans have been put in place to ensure that the Nigerian way that you are having now will not also go the gas way, that you now have people making gas to be artificially scarce and all that.
Broach a bit.
Good. So gas will not be artificially scarce, so that people can make money and all that. Because remember then, this cooking gas, we have problem cooking gas from 400 naira today. Now today, you know how much it is and all that. So are there things that have been put in place by this going to ensure that such things will not creep in and then will not be rushing again? People will not be queuing up, having a long line of, instead of queuing for fuel, you're not queuing for gas and all that. So these are the things we want to look at and all that,
This is it. Yes. This is it. I'm not the government.
No, these are my concerns.
I was at the stakeholder meeting, and so, like I said, this is just a baby step.
Okay.
And as we speak, I know about 50 stations are already on ground, and they are planning about 1,002 or thereabout that will be given licenses. So if we have more, because the concerns also by the transporters was, okay, if we even put this, where are we going to refill?
That's also a concern.
If we have more centers, more stations, like I was saying, I think yesterday, Agidingbi, there's a mobile filling station in Agidingbi. They have converted one particular part to CNG.
Okay.
Station. So it means if you're on CNG, you can easily drive there. Yes, you talk about, okay, we leave the scarce. That is why the people who are converting, they are not converting totally. You still have your petrol enabled and you have your CNG. So once your gas is finished,
switch over.
You can switch over automatically, from the people who are using this. Yeah. So yesterday I was even having a conversation with MJ yesterday after the show, and he was even telling me about a Uber driver who actually picked him up in Abuja. And this thing is cost effective. People who are using it will not tell you how cost effective it is. It's just like the solar. Yes, it might be expensive to have install a solar now, but if you look at the long-term value of having a solar in your house, you will understand that it is better you have.
But I also have another concern, because it's a new phenomenon, and rather than just...
It's a new phenomenon in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, no, I mean. That's what I mean.
Because I know that abroad. Because I know that even in the UK, when I went
I'm speaking relatively.
City of London, you cannot drive any car that is petrol enabled.
Yeah. For now, my other concern is the haste with which the federal government want to run this. Now, there's this presidential order that all government agencies must must now be CNG driven and all that. No, what I'm saying, where it is my concern is that shouldn't we just do maybe a piecemeal approach to it rather than just going this way, one first swoop?
Yes, of course, they are taking it, like as we speak now, the Ministry of Finance they have ordered for about 500 vehicles of CNG vehicles. Okay, they are CNG enabled. So that is one ministry. So maybe another ministry will take. So it's one step at a time. One step at a time. We have not gotten to that part where Citizen Jones will change his Toyota Camry.
But Citizen Jones is not government. I'm talking about government giving an order.
That's what I'm saying. We have not gotten to that part.
Okay.
So let's start with the government. If government is serious,
then we test run it and look at all the.
So May 29th.
Okay.
So at May 29th, the president is coming up with new initiatives.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Concerning the
but mine is simple. Simply this. Government, our business here is to mold opinions and allow decision makers to take heed. You know, mine is there's a huge difference between a good sounding project and a project that sounds good.
Okay.
So I wish us Godspeed.
That's it.
So we stop playing catch up. Right.
Okay.
I can't wait for
CNG to be in your car too.
Oh yeah.
That's fine.